So let's compare the iPhone 16e with the iPhone 15 Pro. What are the differences? So we're comparing the cheapest, newest iPhone with the previous year's iPhone Pro model. Price-wise, the iPhone 16e is $600, while the iPhone 15 Pro, one release was $1,000, but now it could be had for as low as right around $600. So price-wise, these are very similar. The iPhone 16e could also be found for as low as $300 on Boost Mobile prepaid. So look for your prepaid deals here in the US, and they'll be cheaper than the $600 price tag. But let's move on. The iPhone 16e is weighing a lot less than the 15 Pro. Build quality is the same, glass front, glass back. The only difference is aluminum frame versus titanium frame. Doesn't make a big difference, especially if you have a case on it. Next, both of these neither of them have nano SIM card slot. It's all eSIM now here in the US. Both have the same IP68 dust and water resistance, 6 meters up to 30 minutes. So that is finally on par with each other. The display. With the physical differences, we got a notch on the 16e versus the dynamic island on iPhone 15 Pro. When you look at it through the front, that's the only major difference. Functionality wise, you get a little bit of extra animations on the 15 Pro, and they house the Face ID. On the back, you got that single camera versus the 3 cameras, and those are the major visual differences. But the display itself, the 16e has the old 60 hertz refresh rate, while the iPhone 15 Pro has that nice fast 120 hertz refresh rate. So that's one big major difference between these two, is the display quality. Both are 6.1 inches. And with that ProMotion refresh rate on the iPhone 15 Pro, you get always on display, something you still don't get on the iPhone 16e. So big noticeable difference. Same as previous years. That's what differentiates the base iPhone regular one with the Pro models, is the refresh rate and always on display now. Next, both of these software-wise will get 7 years of updates, so there's no issue there. They should be on the same schedule. Both of these are going to get years and years of updates. Now storage, finally we have the same 128 gigs, no more 64 gigs on the iPhone 16e, which replaced the iPhone SE for the cheapest iPhone. So now you're really on par with the storage. Started at 128 gigs, which is more than enough for everybody. 8 gigs of RAM is the same on both of these, so that's one major thing that I notice is the budget iPhone is running the same internals as the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro models, 8 gigs of RAM. So that's pretty nice right there. Camera wise, we are getting a single camera on the back of the iPhone 16e, which is still a pretty good camera, while the 15 Pro has 48 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide. So that's one big difference right there. You got 2 extra cameras on the iPhone 15 Pro. So if you're into photography and video, then the 15 Pro has more options. Both shooting 4K. Both of these have a 12 megapixel selfie camera and shooting 4K. But honestly, I think most people won't notice the difference between these camera systems. Apple has just really got really good cameras, even if it's just one on the back. Both have Bluetooth 5.3. Both have USB Type-C now, so now even the cheapest iPhone has USB Type-C. But the iPhone 15 Pro has a display port, so that's one difference right there. But charging wise, now we got the same port. Like I mentioned earlier, both of these have Face ID. It will work exactly the same on both of these, except you have like the animation on the dynamic island. It's just a visual thing. But functionality, they're the same. And battery wise, both of these have good battery life, but the iPhone 16e is supposed to get better battery life, advertised at 26 hours of video playback, which is crazy. There's no MagSafe on the iPhone 16e. To me, it's not a big difference. I don't really use it. But the iPhone 15 Pro does have MagSafe and reverse wire charging. So that's one thing a lot of people pointed out, is not having MagSafe on the iPhone 16e. But to me, this is meant to be a cheaper iPhone with modern guts. It has the same. This has 8 gigs of RAM, and it has 128 gigs of storage. So it's just, these are very, very similar in speed. You are going to get, let's see, chip wise, let's see here, we have 1 year difference, Apple 18 versus the A17 Pro, but similarly they're gonna be the same speeds and performance. So both of these will run all your apps equally as fast. You won't notice the difference. So the main things to consider here is the price. If you want a brand new modern iPhone at the cheapest price, the iPhone 16e is $600, cheaper on prepaid. But if you get the iPhone 15 Pro used with a good battery, you could still get one for the same price. So we're comparing apples to apples here, $600 to $600, and they both will be, pretty much the iPhone 15 Pro is half the price as it was last year. It's originally $1,000, but this is a very good comparison. I think most people should consider the iPhone 15 Pro if they want those extra cameras, MagSafe, and the refresh rate, the ProMotion, and the always on display. The display in the front, the dynamic island is a visual difference on the front, and the back has those 3 cameras. So if you want to flex, the iPhone 15 Pro still is a more modern looking device than the iPhone 16e, but price wise, they're the same. But if you get the iPhone SE 16e in prepaid, you can get it cheaper. So this is a really tough call to make, but I think you'll be better off with the iPhone 15 Pro if you can find it around the $600 price. So that's been my comparison of the iPhone 16e and the iPhone 15 Pro.